Then, speaking of socks, y'all might have seen, I put it in the newsletter. I also put it in the Swan City Stitchers Facebook group that Pam Goodchild has released a sock pattern. It's very cool, a very cool color work pattern. It's Shorties, and it calls for one skein of trusty sock and then a mini skein of trusty sock. So, yeah, there's a knit along going on. I think I gave a date. I know I did in the official rules. I don't remember what the date is now. I didn't write it down, but there is a date. You've got a good portion of this month and next, I think, before I announce a winner. So the official thread is in the Swan City Stitchers group. So you can post pictures of your yarn. You can post pictures of your whip and then your FOs when you get them. And I am obviously use any yarn you want to participate and post pics, and we can celebrate it. To be prize eligible, I am asking that for this knit along that you use Swan City yarns, or you can use yarn from your stash that I have dyed. Those of you that have been around, you know what I'm talking about. Some combinations, if you're interested. From looking at Pam's combinations that she's done, obviously using something that's wildly contrasting like this over here, which is After Midnight and Neon Moon, looks great, but equally good looks something that might not be, like a bright contrasting color, but still contrasting. There's no blue in this skein of Raspberry Lemonade. And so I think that's why it looks so good. You want to pick two colors that don't share any of the same hues. And then she also used charcoal, which is, it's kind of a tonal, like Raspberry Lemonade definitely has different tones. And then she paired it with Stargazer, which is nice and bright, but you could do anything like Hairy Navel or even Berry, anything like that would look good. So that's the key, is that you want to pick skeins that are not sharing colors. And then you should come out with a pretty good looking sock, honestly. So, and Pam is in the Swan City Stitchers Facebook group. She's happy to answer any questions about the pattern or anything like that. She's amazing, by the way. Stargazer, a cool rainbow song. I don't know if I know that one. I named the colorway for the Stargazer Lily. Do I know that song, dear? Have I heard it? Hi, Michelle. She's over on Instagram. I don't. It does not surprise me. All right. What else? So, yeah. And this, I looked at the pattern. I'm finishing up my sock that I'm currently working on. And then I want to cast on the Interstellar Shorties. And then I'll tell you about, there's another sock I think I'm going to go back to that I had started and quit, but I think I'm gonna knit it up again. So I've got a couple socks that I want to do. Also, some of y'all I know are aware, Tour de Fleece is getting ready to start in July. Yes. How many of y'all are participating? Deb, are you? And let's see, Carol, I'm guessing, might participate. I don't know if I'll get fiber dyed up or not. I do have some fiber out there in the dye studio that I could dye up. So maybe I will dye up some fiber. But I definitely want to participate this year. Did I tell y'all the other night there was a thunderclap? There was the one that woke me up, and it was literally shortly after we had gone to bed. So I went to the bathroom, came back out, laid down, and there was one that was like 3 minutes in to me laying that back down. There was one that was so loud that I like jumped and grabbed Bo. It's like, what was it? but I knew what it was. Holy cow. And I was like, I am so glad that I was not in the bathroom when because I probably would have jumped and pee would have gone everywhere. It was loud. Anyway, I've never been so startled in all my life. Anyway, that was interesting. So where were we? Tour de Fleece. Yeah, I don't know what my goals are going to be. Honestly, at this point, I just want to start spinning again because a couple things have happened. One, I have spun very little since the start of Swan City Yarns because I've had my hands full. But the other thing is that right before then, I got myself a larger, I got a larger mother of all as well. And what is it? A bobbin, because I wanted to be able to spin more yarn. I just had the small bobbins. So I got a bigger bobbin, but ever since then, my yarn, the fiber uptake has been very slow. And like I have to treadle very heavily. So I think there's some adjustment that I need to be making to my wheel. But those two things happened. And so I've done very little spinning. So honestly, if this just gets me spinning again, like 5 minutes a day, that I don't even care. That's what I'll do. But I definitely, I want to participate. Good. Yes. Deb is participating. Excellent. I love it. Kim. Yes. Even the dog jumped up and ran. I know the storms have been all over the place lately. I guess it's that time of year, right? That makes sense. But for us, it's not usually so much storms. It's just we get the daily rain starting in June because of all the humidity. But I know up north, spring is definitely storm season. So, but we're officially into summer now. Today is the official start of summer. So happy summer. All right. What else? Okay. I did want to tell y'all the monthly mini color clubs, they shipped out today. They're not late. They're just a little bit later than what I like to ship them out. And I'll tell you why. It's because I took them initially out of the pots and I was like, that's not what I was going for. So I put them back in the pots to achieve the look that I was going for. I'm not going to show them to you yet because obviously nobody has even had a chance to get theirs. I'll show it next week. I'll do a sneak peek of what the colorway was or is. But so if you are in that subscription, yours is on its way as of now. So let me show you what I am working on. I have finished. I wish I could say I've finished the whole thing, but I haven't. But I have finished the body of my Fiorellino. And I even did the little special stitch at the bottom. And then, I don't know, is that like a half twisted rib, I think, because you do the knit stitch through the back loop. I'm wondering if that's called half twisted rib. Anyway, I did it. So now all that I have left is my sleeves, which there's not much to the sleeves, thank goodness. So I think I'm hoping to get that done this weekend. I would love that because I want to get started on my next shirt. Which I told y'all, I think last week, I'm going to do a ranunculus. We'll talk more about it next week once I get it started. So that, and then I did make it past the heel. I don't know if you saw my post. This might just be the year that I finish my Mermaid Avenue socks. And I realized I haven't talked much about the pattern, but a couple people commented on the picture and said, oh, that's such a great stitch pattern. And it is. If you've not knit the Mermaid Avenue socks, I highly encourage it. It looks very fancy, but it's actually super simple. And one lady on one of my posts asked if the tension, if there was anything special about the tension, because sometimes your special stitches, the tension will tighten up and you got to do it loosely or use a bigger needle. And I didn't have any issues. In fact, there's something in the pattern, I don't remember now. She actually has you cast on a different amount. How is that? No, you cast on less stitches than normal. Like I'm a 64 stitch cast on, and she has you cast on less stitches, and I don't remember why. And then she has you increase. So I'm not sure, does she do that instead of having you start with a smaller needle? I don't remember. I'll be honest. Now that I've started knitting socks, I know my formula and I just make it work for me. So I just cast on 64 stitches and I didn't change needle size or anything. I've not had issues with that. I like my cuffs just fine. And so I just use the same needle size for the cuff and the sock. But anyway, the stitch pattern is super comfortable. She obviously, and you could do this anyway, but she gives you a choice of continuing that stitch pattern across the top of your foot, or obviously you can do stockinette, which is what I chose to do. I realized when I got back to working on this sock, I think the reason for that is that the stitch pattern for me became a little bit not cumbersome, but I love a good stockinette stitch pattern, at least for a certain amount of the project, because it lets me watch TV and knit or read and knit. And with this particular stitch pattern, because you're lifting up some bars onto the needle to knit together, it would, I got to look at it. So I couldn't just do that and read at the same time while I was doing those rows. So I love a good stockinette. So that's what I'm looking forward to on this sock. Like I should be done with this in 2 days. We'll see if that actually happens. But anyway, in theory, that's what should happen. Actually, if I had enough time, I could do that in 1 day, finish that bad boy, but we'll see. So I told y'all I want to start a pair of Interstellar Shorties. I've not picked out my color combo yet. I might ask Bo if he wants a pair of Shorties, because I always have to think about when I start knitting socks, okay, who am I knitting these for? Me, Bo, probably not Morgan. She's capable of knitting her own socks, but since this pair is for me, then it's probably Bo's turn next. So I might ask him what color socks he wants. We'll see. And then the other pair of socks that I want to get back to is, I think I want to go back to the striped step socks. Y'all remember those, the Stephen West? I don't have the pattern out in here anymore, but I think I might go back and knit a pair of striped step, and I may make those Shorties as well. We'll see. We shall see. So, oh, thank you, Tish. It is a good color. I didn't even tell y'all, this is the Leprechaun colorway. And I have to say, it really knits up beautifully. I call it a variegated green. I use multiple greens in there, and there's even some yellow if you're looking close up, but it definitely comes out as if you're looking at it from far off, as kind of like a Kelly green, which should be a good color for me. You got to take that into consideration. So if you're a green person, this is Leprechaun really it's a pretty colorway. So yeah, and I know Tracy said that Tracy is making a Leprechaun one as well, and she said I'm actually ahead of her, which means she obviously got sidetracked because that woman can knit fast. Who else? Karen Sobol, I know you picked yours up. You're probably done. Let's see. Hey, Sharon, I'm glad that you did make it to see us. Kim, you got to get back to yours too. Yeah. Bo, what is that color I keep telling you that I'm drawn to? I don't remember. You'll have to look again. I know Cookie Crumbs you keep coming back to, but I don't remember. I don't. You'll have to let me know, and then maybe I will make you some socks in it. So thank you all. Yes, I am very pleased with this. That will make a nice summer top for sure. So I'm excited about that. All right, let's see what is next. Okay, shop update. So couple of things that I did in the shop. So hot and cold, I showed you all the order that went to Knitcessities. Knit Although Knitcessities is getting an order of gradient color cakes. So check her out, her stock. And then Knit in Longwood, Marnie, got an order of trusty sock. And in that was the colorway hot and cold, which goes with burnt butter. And I came up with the colorway for Marnie. And so if you're local, you're going to want to go see Marnie first. But I do have them for those of you that are shopping online. So they go together nicely depending on what you're doing. Obviously, if you're looking for strong contrast, this is not your blend. But if you're looking for color work that goes together, then this is a match made in heaven for sure. So burnt butter has been restocked in the shop, which I needed to do anyway, because it's such a great, it can, it's an orange leaning brown, and you can really focus on the orange and bring that out. Or you can focus on that golden brown aspect and draw that out as well. And then I paired it with navy at the request of Marnie. She wanted a blue in there. So yeah. So that's hot and cold, which is in the shop on multiple bases. I also, because of the Interstellar Shorties pattern coming out, I put some not new colors, but they haven't been in the Swan City shop before. Junho is on Trusty Sock Mini, as is Double Mint. And Hairy Navel, this one, so this colorway, what's interesting about this colorway, it used to be called, when it first came out, it was Florida Oranges. And it also looked different. I'm not sure. I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like this looks I don't know if I just put more dye powder down or what, but it looks a lot darker than the Hairy Navel of the past, to be honest. But it's in there. And then, the ever gorgeous golden green is Cavendish. It's a little washed out on my monitor, but that's in the shop as well. So those, so look, if you're looking for minis, obviously you've got a lot to choose from. And then I'm looking and I realize, I think there's something I forgot to show y'all. I'll talk about in a minute. Anyway, Dying to Knit is still open. It'll be open for, I don't know, a few more days before I close it down. And yeah, that's it. So the thing that I forgot to mention is, which I put it in the post, but it's the prize for the Interstellar Shorties knit along, is another skein of Troll Hunter. This one is on Swanky Little Sister Sock. So just like Swanky Sock, but it's just a 100-gram skein. So it's got 400 yards. And I paired this one with, I think that's Beehive. No, Love Bug. I paired it with Love Bug. So there you go. And you can see some of that lilac is in there as well. So that, yeah, I knew. I was like, I didn't show that. So, all right, what's going on in the future? What's coming up? So next week is basically Christmas Eve. And Kim, was it you? Someone was kind enough to tag me in a Christmas post that said the Hallmark movie watching for Christmas in July begins next Friday, the 29th. And I'm like, and Morgan was like, why is it starting in June? And I was like, because they know it's Christmas Eve. And she's like, or maybe it's like finding Christmas items in the store in October. I was like, maybe next year they'll start showing Christmas movies in May. And then she's had the best idea ever and said, I think Hallmark should just be known for Christmas movies. Genius. Right? Hello. So obviously, starting next Friday, I will be tuned in to Hallmark to watch. And I haven't even seen any of the trailers. I'm so disappointed in myself. I need to write myself. Hang on. Just give me a minute. I got to go see what we have in store for us. Are these going to be good movies or what? I mean, We already know the plot, but basically, but I need to know who the actors and actresses are. So for sure. Okay. So, I see that Magic Loop is called for in the Interstellar Shorties. I don't know how to do that. No, Tish. How do you normally make your socks? You use the two, or you use the Shorties like I do? I read over it and I didn't see any issues. But feel free to reach out to Pam because she's happy to help. I've not had issues going back and forth, even patterns that call for DPNs. I just, put them over to my preferred method. So, but if you have problems with that, definitely reach out. But I don't see having a problem just because you don't do magic at all. Oh yeah, DPNs. DPN should be totally fine. But if you have, like I said, if you have specific questions, then definitely reach out. Oh, Karen, you're not done. Okay, well, that makes me feel a little better. I don't know why. It shouldn't. It doesn't matter. And then Bo says, you showed it last week. I don't know what I showed last week, but good. I'm glad. Oh, did I show the prize? I couldn't have shown the prize because I picked it this week. Oh, maybe. Oh, the color that you like. Honey, I don't know. What did I show last week? Last week, I think I showed the Americana and Star Spangled, but that's not it. So I know exactly. Bamboozled. That's the colorway that you're drawn to, which is very similar. Well, in feel, it has that same rustic feel as Cookie Crumbs. Yes, Bamboozled. Yes, Bamboozled. Bo says that Bamboozled reminds him of a Nine Inch Nails album cover. I'm sure you all know it. You hard rockers, you. Okay.